Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Nita Rodriguez, and you're tuning in to another episode of DFS Trash Talk, NFL Under the Radar Plays of the Week. Hey, welcome back. So, we're going to jump right into it. Yes, a new setting. Not my usual setting, but that's more so because I have so much going on and I wasted my little time that I could be downstairs. Anyway, so here we are recording it in my house. So what could go wrong, right? So let's go ahead and talk about those plays last week. But before we do, make sure you're following DFS Trash Talk on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, because it's not Twitter anymore, but I'm still used to saying Twitter. But who isn't used to saying Twitter, right? And if you're following those pages, then you'll know that that is where the player pools drop, and where the cores drop, and where the free plays drop. And it doesn't matter which site you follow, it all trickles down through the pages. So make sure you follow those. Also, make sure you're following YouTube. That way you can get our videos, especially when I start kicking off the PGA 6K Bays of the Week. Those will be coming next year. So hopefully I see y'all on the golf side too and not just NFL. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and run down those plays that we had last week. Last week we had Jared Goff, we had Sam Laporta, and we had Christian Kirk. So Jared Goff did his thing. You know, he got us 20, I think it was 24 fantasy points, between 24 and 25 fantasy points, something around there. Not the highest because, as you know, Dak did that with all the touchdowns he threw to CD Lamb. But anyway, he still was serviceable and pretty cheap. Sam Laporta did disappoint. He did not do anything. Technically, he didn't even get his target until like the fourth quarter, which was surprising. But they went with Amon St. Brown, so I understand. So he didn't do his thing. He only got 4 receptions for 40 yards, which isn't bad, but it was bad for the large field tournaments. And then we had Christian Kirk, who looked like he was about to bust, but he didn't bust. And I can already hear y'all saying that's what she said. But yeah, he came through in the second half of the game. He ended up with 18 fantasy points. I think he did get over 100 yards and the bonus. But hopefully, we run a different set this week, and I'm gonna do it a little different because the defenses are kind of trash this week. Everybody's giving up points. The ownership seems to be centered all around certain plays. And I hate that for us because when you're trying to take down large field GPPs, single bullets sometimes ain't going to do it. You got to multi-enter. You got to do maybe 3 max or a 20 max. But my plays are not cash game plays. I do not play cash games. So if you feel the need to play cash, this video may not be for you. However, if you are going to do some GPPs, then you come to the right place. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So our first play, and like I said, I'm doing this different. I usually have notes in front of me where I could just speed read through everything for y'all. But we're going to work on this together just a tad bit. So the video will probably be just a little bit longer than normal, but not too long because I don't like all that long nonsense. But anyway, so our first play, and I had narrowed it down to 2 plays. It was Jordan Love and Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell's your GPP play, obviously. Jordan Love's your GPP play because nobody likes Jordan Love. 1 minute we had love for Jordan Love, and then the next minute we don't. We feel like, oh my God, Jordan Love is trash. He's garbage. He's this, he's that. But to be fair, he has been, throwing at least 280 yards over his last 3 games. All right. And he's rushed. He has rushing upside. He has about 30 to 40 yards rushing upside when given the opportunity. And this week, he has that opportunity to be great. And last time we chose Jordan Love in a great spot, he let us down. So hopefully in week 11, we can actually have a great week with Jordan Love. Let's see, his ownership is looking around, Let me I have the wrong thing up. And this is why I said we're doing it together, my peoples, because last couple of weeks have been really difficult for me. But I feel like if I don't give y'all a video for the under the radar plays, you're gonna blow me up and say, "Did you do it?" So yes, we're doing it together. All right. So I'm just trying to find the ownership for Jordan Love. Where are you at, ownership? The ownership is, okay, here we go. We found it. All right. So for DK, he's around 3.7% ownership. And for, let's see, oh, FanDuel, he is around 2.5% ownership. So I like that. He's very low owned. Again, nobody trusts Jordan Love, right? He has weapons, though. He does have uh, Christian Watson. He does have Romeo Dobbs. He does have Reed. He has Musgrove. He has weapons to throw to. Will he utilize them this week? I don't know, but he seems to be getting on the right track the last couple of weeks. Um, I want to pull him up and see what his stats been looking like. Oh God, it's gonna make me sign in to do all that. All right, so we're not gonna pull up DraftKings. All right, but again, I can pull up his stats this way. Let's see. All right, Jordan Love. So he has about 34 pass attempts a game. All right, he completes about 20 a game. And like I said, everybody has this issue with Jordan Love right now. And he's facing who is he facing? I don't want to say the wrong team. But he's facing the Chargers, right? So with him facing the Chargers, this is the perfect opportunity for Jordan Love to bounce back. He's throwing, let's see. He's throwing around, like I said, the last 3 weeks, he's throwing around 280 yards. But on average, he's only throwing 223 yards. And that's because he's had some very terrible games throughout the beginning of the season. Overall, the defense is giving up the 5th most fantasy points to QBs. And allowing the 22nd most DK points to quarterbacks. The defense is also allowing an average of 26 points to teams, visiting teams. So I really like Jordan Love in a bounce back spot this week against a banged up Chargers. Again, this will prove if Jordan Love is really weak or not, because he did face a team already that gave up top fantasy points to QBs and wide receivers. So here's another chance for Jordan Love to bounce back, and I think we put him in our GPPs. All right, so fire him up. Our second play is going to be, well, just going to keep it in that game for Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs, right? Like I said, this week, the defenses that are playing some of the offenses are just very, very weak. And in the spots, the wide receivers, they're all garnering so much ownership just because of the type of teams that they're facing, right? Christian Watson, right? I could easily choose him as to pair him with Jordan Love. However, he's straddling on that could be over 10% line. So we're going to keep it Romeo Dobbs and what did I say? Romeo Dobbs and Jaden Reed. So the reason I like them is because, one, again, they're facing the Chargers. Same reason I like Jordan Love. Nobody wants to own Green Bay. because of Jordan Love. Again, Green Bay stack for all the money because this is that game that could turn into a shootout. We already know Herbert is going to have to throw. He has to throw because his defense is banged up. So for the same reasons, I like Jordan Love. I love Jaden Reed and Romeo Doubs. So let's take a look at their ownership. Wide receivers. Control F. Doubs. Okay. So Romeo Doubs' ownership. Okay, let's see if we can. Okay, here we go. Y'all gotta forgive me a little bit. Like I said, we're doing this together. So Romeo Doubs' ownership is looking around 1% on both sites. And our boy Reed, let's find him. And he's looking around the same thing, 1.9% ownership. So I really like both of them for tournaments. You stack them with Jordan Love, and then you pay up for everything else. You eat the chalk in the other areas because nobody's going to want to play Green Bay at all. Run Green Bay and pair him with, pair your wide receivers with Jordan Love and take down everything else. All right. Our third play is going to be Cole Kmet and Sam Laporta. We're running Sam Laporta back. He owes us after last week. So I like him because he's coming in around 4% owned. We're talking about Sam Laporta. He's coming in around 4% owned, and he's facing, I think he's facing the Bears. And I like Cole Kmet for that same reason. Both teams are weak versus tight ends. So Cole Kmet, you compare him with whoever's throwing for the Bears. Good luck with that. And Sam Laporta, you compare him with Jared Goff. Right? No, Goff. I'm still in that Goff, Stafford. I know Stafford's with the Rams, but sometimes you just don't know. But anyway, Sam Laporta, again, after last week's run, I think it's safe to run him back this week. Let me see. Let's see what the defense is giving up. Laporta. Okay. So, Sam Laporta, the defense, well, first of all, who is he playing? Let me not give y'all the wrong team again. All right. So, where's my little... Okay, yeah. So Chicago and Detroit. That's who they're going up against. They're going up against each other. But both teams are weak versus tight ends. So I really like Sam Laporta. Again, run back, 4% owned, projects for 12.6 points on DraftKings. Ranked 7th in fantasy points for the main slate. 13th best value on the slate at tight end. And yeah, I apologize. Projects for 7% on DK and around 10% on FanDuel. So I would use him more on DraftKings than I would FanDuel. All right. And then I said Cole Kmet. I'm going to find him. And Kmet, he ranks 9th on the slate. 3rd in value. I like that. And he projects around 9% ownership and 9% ownership on FanDuel. So both have outstanding matchups. So if you want to run both of those in one lineup, do double tight end, I think it's worth it this week. Again, that's another way to get different for your lineups and your GPPs. All right. And you can pair him. Or you compare either one of them with either the quarterbacks from their respective teams. All right. So with that being said, again, our rundown is Jordan Love and Aiden O'Connell. I really didn't get into Aiden O'Connell. He plays for Vegas. Again, He's a dart throw. Pair him with Devontae Adams, who again, nobody wants to play Devontae Adams because of the QB situation. But again, to take down a GPP, you have to be different. And this is our way of getting different. So Jordan Love and Aiden O'Connell, Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs, Cole Kmet, and Sam Laporta. I'm your girl, Nita Rodriguez. Thank you as always for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and you're sharing. And make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we will see y'all next week for week 12. All right? I'm your girl. I'll see y'all next week. I'm out.